Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us, and us being sovereign ground, we're not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you gonna draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live on any smart device from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning at David G. Evans 1. Won't you please share right now, inbox somebody, tweet them, text them, call them on the phone. Let them know that On Point is on once again. That's 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning on any smart device at David G. Evans 1, the number one, at David G. Evans, the number one. Of course, joining me, my world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith.
Good morning.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You can give us a call today as we talk about those things that are going to be important to you, but always from a kingdom perspective. 1-866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. Give us a call. 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We're looking forward, if the Lord spares the rain, to having our drive-in service at midday today here at the plaza. Of course, everybody's invited. You just have to stay in your car.
Yeah.
Also, I understand that our curb service is going to be available today.
Yep. Food.
Food, and you can go on the site that you're on right now. Go to the app.
Go to Bethany.com.
Go to Bethany.com.
Yeah.
Go to Bethany.com. You can see the app for our Harvest Hall.
Yep.
And order your food and come pick it up at a designated time. The world famous chef Joseph Brown, formerly of Cherry Hill and Haddonfield. He's had a great following around the nation and really intense around the region. You want to try some of this man's great food. He didn't tell us what he has today. Maybe somebody will find out. So we've got some top stories to talk about. Well, I'm looking for there to be a breakout in, hope there isn't, but I'm looking for there to be a breakout in Arizona.
It's already on already.
Already started?
Yeah, it's already started.
Okay, I think impatience is a mission killer.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that if they had just waited another 2 or 3 weeks, we would have had a better handle on this. But now, just as we're starting to get better, we are putting people back together in places that I think are supportive of the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And I may be a little pragmatic about this, but if you can go to the hospital in intensive care and catch it,
Mm-hmm.
and hospitals supposed to know how to keep things clean and guard it,
Mm-hmm.
then I think some of the places they're opening
Mm-hmm.
are going to be fraught with peril.
Yep. Yeah. And
Yeah.
people think this for them is the second wave. This is their first wave.
Yeah.
This is new.
No, this is the new.
It's finally caught them.
Yeah. It's not the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that my mother used to say, my grandmother used to say, my great grandmother used to say, a hard head makes a soft behind.
Yes, sir.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And you hear people like the vice president saying that the numbers are high in the 20 to 30-year-old range.
Okay.
And they call that a positive because they have a better chance of surviving it. But to me, no matter how old you are, if you have the virus, you have the virus. That's not a good thing.
And
who they going to give it to?
I don't think the virus asked the question, how old are you, before it spreads.
Right.
Okay, you're 20-some years old, so I can't spread from you.
Yes.
It's the logic for it is absolutely ridiculous.
Crazy.
The whole thing about testing less, that was one of the most inane things I'd heard in a long time.
It was just so dumb.
You know, we need to know who's got it and who doesn't.
Right.
Not let's test less so my data looks better.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, we have such high numbers because we test more. If I don't check my mail, my bills are still going to go up.
That's right.
Like, hello?
They're still coming in the
Right,
mailbox.
they're still coming in. I don't get on the scale, but my clothes are telling me something's changing here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's amazing. I don't get
I'm like,
it.
what is wrong with y'all?
I don't get it.
Less tests, we'll have less numbers. No, the hospitals will still be packed.
And you just won't be reporting what's going on.
Basically.
But you need to know where it is so you can get a handle on it
Right.
and take the measures you need to take
Yep.
to get it done.
Yep.
So ignorance
Mm-hmm.
is not going to help us.
Yep. And the followers are like, that's right, you know, so and so. But this morning,
Only a child would think that sounded okay.
yeah, right. But this morning I read the president, the White House are upping their protocols on who can come in and who. So He's putting more stuff to protect him.
Yeah, but y'all go out there and just have a good time. Have a picnic.
I'm like,
Lay hip to hip on the beach. Just do what you want to do.
can't y'all be logical about this? But obviously,
Look. And they're not going to tell him to go home and isolate himself.
yeah, yep,
So you can spread it to the rest of the house.
it's true.
It's either highly contagious or it isn't. Now, which is it?
Yep, yeah.
Obviously, it's highly contagious. If there's testing everybody around him every day.
All the time, and protecting them. And you don't know how fast it's going to hit your body. One guy said yesterday, he woke up at 8 a.m. Feeling completely fine.
Yep.
By 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in the emergency room.
That's how a virus hits you.
It hit him so fast.
That's how a virus
all
hits
of it hit him.
You're fine, having a good time. All of a sudden, I'm starting not to feel well.
And boom.
Yeah, it's, because your body can only take so much.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
So my Justice Department is dropping charges on insider trading people?
Yep. Yeah. The senators that were in that meeting and sold all their stuff.
In what world are we?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if you were an insider trader, would they drop the charges?
Oh, heck no. Oh, no.
Okay,
Not at all.
Just trying to add some equity to this.
No. Oh,
Okay.
No.
See if there's a little equivalency in it.
I'll be in jail.
So in the United States of America, we've got voter suppression going on in certain parts of the country.
Yeah. Did you see Kentucky?
What happened?
They had like 2,000 polling places supposed to be open.
Yes.
They closed most of them. They only had like 200 open.
Here's what I think. Now they're blaming COVID, right?
No. They're not even blaming COVID.
Here's what I think. I think if you think you're going to win, and it's in the bag, you don't have to suppress votes.
Yep.
When my president talks about an election that perhaps he might not win, he always says it's rigged.
Yep.
While he's running, he says it's rigged. But then when he wins, he doesn't say it's rigged.
No. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm so if I got this thing, why do I have to start doing illegal things?
Yep.
If I've got it.
Yep.
No. When I don't think I have it,
you
I got to start
doing
making sure people can't vote. Now, Kentucky happens to be
Mitch McConnell's.
McConnell state.
Yep.
Why does he need voter suppression in his state?
He's scared he going to lose. Because I think they said his candidate that's running against him is pretty strong.
They're tired of him.
They are. And they tried to close the polls off at 6. And then people stayed there and banged on them doors so they opened them up.
Well, here's the problem I have. Supposedly, he has, is it the poorest state or the...
They have one of the poorest states in the whole country.
How is he in office for 30 years with this influence and his state is one of the poorest?
Yep.
How does that work?
Because they continue to, they don't vote for something. They vote against somebody. That's
But
the crazy thing.
he's been in office, what, 30 years?
Long time.
So let's say 30 years. So 30 years, poor people have not gotten anything better, and they continue to vote for him.
As long as he keeps being against abortion, against this, 600,000 people had to vote at one polling place.
Whoa.
People were in line for 12 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours waiting to vote.
But they waited.
Them jokers ain't playing now. They are waiting.
I think because the tactics are more obvious than they've ever been, and people are like, oh, they don't want me to vote.
Yep.
Whereas before, people get frustrated and walk off. But now it's like, is this how they're trying to do it?
Yep. And they don't recognize the adverse effect. What Obama was to the right, where the right came out strong in 2016 for Trump.
Right.
What they're doing now is making this young liberal crowd rise up and come out vote like they didn't vote before.
Right.
They're having a reverse effect now.
Like they should have voted in the presidential election.
If they would have voted like this in 2016, we wouldn't be in this situation.
This
Get on my nerves.
wouldn't be having this problem. Wouldn't be having this problem.
I still just couldn't find it in me to vote for her.
But look what you
Compared
got.
to what? Look what you got. I mean, I wasn't an initial fan of hers
Lesser
either, but
of two evil. Every election
Yes.
since I've been alive has usually been, not every, but most elections have been the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
In almost every situation.
Every single one. And I'm tired of voting for the lesser of two evils. Guess what you're going to get? That's politics. That's life.
And watch what happened. So the only election that I can remember, the lesser of two evils, was Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Did not apply.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy and Obama.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was obvious choices to be.
Yeah.
Okay, these are good guys. And,
Yeah.
You know, especially President Obama. He's just a good guy and got a family.
Yeah,
and
it's obvious.
You know, let's vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but and the vote came out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a rarity in a presidential election.
Yep.
In any election.
Mm-hmm. Very rare.
You know, there are hardly ever two solid bases under both your feet when you're voting in an election.
That's very true.
You got to decide, okay, can I get most of this and most of that? But what they try to do is get you hung up on one issue.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that they can continue to mistreat you.
Yep.
And just keep throwing it in your face. Well, you know, we got this, we got this. But this thing right now is, I mean, how does my president say he wants to defund COVID tests?
Mm-hmm.
He claims the numbers are only high because we are testing people.
He literally said that. Like it's going to go away if you stop testing people.
They're only high because we're testing people. Am I the only one that gets that?
It's like, but
so
you're right.
Let's stop testing people so our numbers won't be high.
Yeah. But you're right. It's a data piece.
That is so crazy.
They said worldwide it's 9 million positive tests.
Right.
Of the 9 million, 2 million plus is United States. So we have over 10% of the world's population.
Wow. States are closing up now due to spikes.
Yeah. Some churches are.
They should.
They fought to open.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about it. Now, we can talk about it from the context that we know.
Yep.
Now, I am not oblivious to the pressures that some of these pastors may be under.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to hear me. I'm not oblivious to the pressures.
Yep.
You know, first of the month comes, all those types of things happen. What I don't understand from leaders is ideologically trying to please someone who doesn't know you at the expense of the health of the people that you serve.
Right.
Now, I know it's going to get me in trouble.
No, you're right. You're right.
How do I tell if my grandmother was alive, I need you to stay home.
Yep.
And tell you to bring yours to church.
Yep. Can't do it.
It makes no sense to me. So I don't understand how these religious leaders are under such political pressure. And all it is the perception of being liked and being supportive. And you would gamble on the health of the people that you're going to be serving, hopefully, when this administration is out of office.
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
And you got to counsel them. Well, that's if you do that. Could it be that some, I'm not saying all, but some of these pastors aren't touched with the feeling of their members' infirmities?
That could be it. That means not as much Christ as possible.
Yeah.
Because where is your real compassion? The one with action.
Yeah.
And where is your common sense?
Right.
And where is your faith and common sense in the same cup?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Yeah. I just.
And I'm asked the question every single day. When it is safe for grandma and the children, then it'll be safe. If it's not safe for grandma, it isn't safe for anybody.
Right. And in the middle of this, I forgot to put this down there. While you on it, they're trying to slip in to get rid of Obamacare during this time when folk are getting sick.
What can be? That's silly.
They're trying to get it to the Supreme Court to get them to strike it down again.
In the middle of a pandemic.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Lord have mercy. We got Jonathan from Philly. We got Angela from Kentucky. We got Danny from Florida. We're going to Kentucky. Angie.
The KY.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. Thanks for calling us. Praying for you all in Kentucky.
Yes, please.
Praying for you all. What's your comment?
I have two comments.
Okay.
First, I want to talk about the Mitch McConnell issue.
Okay. And you live there, so you can tell us.
Yes, sir. I live in Lexington. And Lexington and Louisville are blue states.
Okay.
But the rest of the states are red states.
Okay.
And I think it's because rich Caucasian men have always been able to convince poor Caucasian men that the trouble with this country is African Americans.
Yep.
Okay.
And so he's always gotten buy-in from those that are very poor
Okay.
and typically vote against their best interest.
Okay.
So that's what I feel like's going on there.
Angela, do you find that does it amaze you that people will vote against their own interests?
It baffles me. It doesn't amaze me. It baffles me.
You know
Because-
why I think it happens? That we've been saying on the program for a while. The racial vote never makes sense. It's illogical.
Right. It's an old game.
Yeah.
It's an old game to convince the people who are poor that someone else is their problem,
Okay.
not the rich and wealthy, but
Okay.
someone else is their problem.
Okay.
So that's a very old game, but it still works because Mitch McConnell has been in office. He's getting chased this year, but I don't know if they will catch him.
Really?
My prayer is that they will. Well, if only two of the cities here are blue and the rest are red, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
It depends upon, I know the climate is different because of all of our civil unrest, so I'm hoping that that's going to weigh in our favor. But you can never tell in Kentucky.
So let me ask you a question about Louisville and Lexington.
Okay.
At the forefront of activism, what group do you think is leading the charge?
There's a very strong leader in Louisville by the name of Pastor Tim Finley.
Okay.
And he is applying pressure correctly. He took the protest outside of the African American community and took it to the other side of town, where he was filmed being arrested with the knee on the neck and the gun at the head.
The pastor was?
Yes. Yes, he and his congregants and some other pastors took the protest to the other side of town just to kind of prove. Now, he's on the mayoral committee, so, that visual was a very strong visual about what happened to him because they didn't know who he was. But he made sure it was documented, and we saw. So he is leading some very powerful.
So they found out who he was after the incident.
Yes, sir. His they didn't really care if things were burning down on our side of town. But when he took it across town, it became a whole different ball game and elevated how it was televised and perceived. So he's being very, very smart in that. So I see, and a lot of our pastors, our local pastors, are coming together and calling for meetings and getting seats at tables that are higher. My only issue with them is that when our African American pastors are being called to the table, they're not bringing the women with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is they're not bringing women, and they're not bringing other ethnicities with them.
Yeah, we have to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't become platform centric in the middle of an assignment. Sometimes we act as though there's not much room on the shelf for anybody else but us.
But this is Kentucky.
Yeah.
I've been ordained for 30 years.
Yeah.
And there's still major ministries, still major churches here who don't ordain women.
Well, I know you're right, because one of the young ladies that I ordained was living in Kentucky for a while, her and her family, and it was kind of like she had to come out of the state in order to do her ministry.
I did.
Okay.
I did. We had to. When I was married, I was ordained away from here because I'm from a missionary Baptist church that did not ordain women.
Okay.
And it was a struggle for me. Finally got free and came back and have really committed a lot of my outreach ministry to helping women in those churches, kind of put some pressure there to be heard. But my second question is, what do you think about the children returning to school in August?
I think it's too early.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be extremely hard to keep younger children.
Yes.
You may have a chance with juniors and seniors, and I'm not guaranteeing that either.
Yes.
But I think when you get 6th, 7th, 5th, 4th, 3rd grade, it's going to be difficult for them not to be touching and up in each other's faces and practicing adult hygiene and all.
Right.
It's just, I think it's premature.
Yep.
And I've been really trying to admonish the parents to put pressure on their superintendents and in higher places to say, this is not what we want. Now, I was a single mother. I know how difficult it is to have to work and send your children to school.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the argument is about, well, what about the education gap? I said, I think I would rather deal with the education gap than one of them dying.
Well, I think there's about to be another disparity revealed, because the districts that have adequate funding will be able to at least put some measures in place.
Right.
But those districts don't have adequate funding and historically have been underfunded,
Right.
will not have as much of an opportunity to put up whatever restrictions are available. Barriers between the kids' seats and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Some districts will have a whole lot of money to do a whole lot of stuff with, because the parents are going to demand it. And some districts won't, and the parents will demand it, and still it won't happen.
But I think the parents that are going to demand it will, be wise enough to keep their children at home and do what, don't get your hair done, don't get your nails done, don't get your feet done, and make sure that they have the technology to do it from home until it's actually safe. So that's another concern. But
Which ministry are you connected with in Kentucky?
I am a member of New Mount Zion. The pastor is Reverend Dr. Kylan Gray, who I have to drive about an hour away from where I live.
It's worth it.
To find it absolutely is, to find a church that honors the gift of God in my life. So I thank God for him.
We have a lot of members who travel far, and I always say this humorously but factually: I drove further to get into trouble when I wasn't saved.
Yes, God.
You hear what I said?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you for calling us today.
Okay. You guys have a great day.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. I wish I would like another pastor from Kentucky, male, to call us and tell us what is this thing about females in ministry in the state.
Well, it's still the South. The South is how do you say the South?
Well, don't
up
say
here
the
still,
South too much.
Up here is the same way too.
I know we started licensing ordaining women. We've been 30 years, 25, 28 years ago, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
And I had pastors call me from around the country, tell me I was going to hell that day.
Yeah. You're seeing it get better.
I had members leave the church because of that.
I'm sure.
We had folks that were on staff left.
Mm-hmm. You're seeing it get better. But it's not new.
But there's pockets of it.
There's pockets of it,
Okay.
yeah. But you're seeing it grow more, which is a good sign, but you see more resistance. So now it's like...
The resistance is growing?
Yeah, because some more resisting too. So now it's like with some of the, like when I go to Dallas to that group. So now it's like, okay.
They're not pro-women in ministry, right?
Well, now it's like they can preach, but they can't pastor.
Okay.
So before it was they can't preach, they can't pastor, but now...
I personally think that was partially the Holy Ghost and partially we're about to lose these women at this church.
Because these gifted women were rising up.
Yeah.
Now, the guy that runs it, he wants the women executive pastors. He has them, invites them, has stuff for them. But some of the group...
I know preachers told me, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't license women. Don't ordain them.
Yeah.
Certainly I had a preacher tell me, don't let them make you a bishop. All of them got women and ordaining them now.
Oh, absolutely.
All of them are bishops now.
I'm telling you, they making changes.
But I think it was survival changes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, the civil rights movement was extremely sexist.
Absolutely.
From the top folk, from King all down.
It was a male club.
It was a male club. Them women was doing them work.
Yep.
They would not give them positions. I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It reflected the church. At the time.
They was in charge, and the women were. A lot of the women I started learning about the civil rights movement, we weren't taught about them.
No.
You had to do your own research.
Yeah, just to see their names. Now, if they were singing, they get some recognition.
Yeah, there you go.
But not that they're getting bricks thrown at them.
They talk about the one that Stokely Carmichael and a few of those younger ones was led by a woman, but they don't talk about her though. She's the one who started that group.
We need to ask you. I don't know what made me think this. One of the first black women to have an art exhibit in the Smith.To was a friend of mine, a girl I grew up with named Michael Kendall.
Okay.
And she the subject that got her in the Smithsonian was this lady named Sojourner Truth. Now, Harriet Tubman was the big, most noted, but Sojourner Truth was another person that led a lot of people out of slavery into freedom. And Michael, it was not until we were in our freshman year, maybe in college, or maybe even right after we graduated, that Michael's exhibits made the Smithsonian as not just a visiting thing, but they're there. Real historic move. Good. The family was just, over the moon. But it just shows you that you don't hear much about her. You don't hear as much about Sojourner Truth as you do about the one we allow to get through and be known. Yep. Okay.
And people think because one or two become known that it's better for everybody else.
No,
that
it's
ain't true.
Let's go to who's next, Jonathan or Danny? Okay. Jonathan, good morning. Welcome to OnPointe.
Yes, good morning.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well.
Good to hear it.
I'm feeling well. It's always like, in life, you always have like a car. 3 wheels are good, and 1 wheel is a problem.
Yeah, one wheel seems to squeak at all times.
It's always something.
Yeah. What's on your mind this morning?
I wanted to tell you a couple of things. I can't get into them all, but I wanted to tell you my post yesterday on the Facebook. I disagree with Trump's desire to do fewer tests.
It's unbelievable.
More information is always better.
Absolutely. Yep.
Focus more on ways and stuff to boost immunity. That's the big problem here.
Okay.
The virus is going to go around. We're all going to get touched by it one way or another. One of the worst ways is to get a vaccine that has a lot of other bad stuff in it. If we can have and vaccine requires a strong immune system.
Yeah.
All the vaccine does is activate the immune system. But it also, in another way, hurts the immune system by putting other stuff in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the additives that cause the problem.
It's best if we can have a strong immune system. And that's vitamin D, quercetin. Quercetin is in colored fruits, red apples, cherries, that kind of thing. Also onions, and zinc, and vitamin C. If we're really strong on that, the COVID-19 will have almost no effect. But for those who have comorbidities, I know good doctors on the internet who they have very serious patients. They never even get to the hospital. The information is out there on how to treat this, and it's a lack of information. That's where I fault Trump and his team. They're listening to the, quotes, experts, Fauci and Birx, too much, and they're not getting more information from a lot of other doctors. Now, hydroxychloroquine, there's a study out, hydroxychloroquine is really good if used properly.
Okay.
But you don't hear of that test. They came out with other studies which were done very poorly, given way too much, too late, to the wrong people. It had some people die, and that was a bad test, but you heard a lot about it. They're pushing the bad information and not the good information.
And you know sometimes, Jonathan, that what gets reported are usually attached to what relationships are influential at the time. So if my name's going to be on the study, then I want to promote that, whether it's going to kill people or not. But I'm not going to let your name be on the study because we've been in competition for the last 20 years, and I don't want you to get the Nobel Peace Prize for medicine, versus me. So I'm willing to let some people suffer in order to get some recognition. And it's really sad that you go far as back as the AIDS virus, that there was a battle over recognition that prevented viable treatments from getting to the market as soon as they could.
Yeah.
More concern over bucks than bodies.
I wanted to say one other thing about the ministry, and we can't be happy unless we're blessed by God. And we can't be blessed by God unless we're pleasing him.
Absolutely.
And without faith, it is impossible to please God.
Absolutely.
But where do we get faith? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the preachings of the Word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's only your type ministry. It's only your people hearing what you're saying where that can fix anything.
Yeah.
Okay? People got to hear it. I mean, you're doing a good job preaching, but these people got to hear it.
Yeah.
That's the only answer.
There's a participation. I've got to receive it.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Amen.
Talk to you, man.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye. We're going to Danny. Then Kevin's called us. We haven't heard from Kevin in a little while. Hope she's doing well. Do we need a break first, or can we go?
It's up to you.
All right, let's go to break, and we'll come back with Danny and Kevin. Y'all hold on now. We'll be right back.
It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money.
You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America with Reverend Nicholas Smith. I'm Bishop David G. Evans, your host, and we are glad you have joined us today. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. It looks like the Lord has lifted the rain.
Yeah.
So we will be on at 12 o'clock. We'll be out in the yard, drive-in service. We're going to have a great time in the Lord today. Let's go to Danny, and then we're going to Kevin. Hey, Danny.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. How you doing?
Staff, everyone, how y'all doing today?
Doing great. Tell me what's happening in Florida, my brother.
Well, hot.
Boy, that's good.
I mean, I don't know, extremely. It's like 82 at night, and during the day, the index takes us up in some areas like Key West, 109. Where we are, we're in like 102. So
now,
it's...
what's the index? What's that related as it relates to temperature?
That's with the humidity.
Okay.
And even though the temperature, which they take in the shade, might be reading 92, but you got the feeling of like 102.
So it's the reverse of wind chill.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Got it.
So the thing that I wanted to comment on, Bishop, is what you were talking about earlier, and what I said a couple of weeks ago, is that the assistant to the Vice President of the United States, who is our governor in Florida, because he takes all his directions directly from them, by opening up too early.
Okay.
And it's sad when the only thing that's on their mind is going ahead and making money and getting the tourist business going, getting the beaches open and things like that. I don't know how anyone could go to the beach with a mask on, and then the only time you want someone to put a mask on, if they want to go to the restroom, then they're required to put the mask on. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, Danny, you just explained something to me. I kept wondering, what is the political pressure that the leadership in Florida is feeling, and who are they getting it from? And you just cleared it up.
Directly from Pence.
Wow.
And you know where Pence is getting his direction from.
Of course.
And as I told you before, that they were volleying, they were trying to get the Republican convention in Florida, which they did.
Now, what position of advising the vice president does the official from your state hold?
We're talking about our governor.
Your governor is the assistant to Vice President Pence?
I call that's what I call him, because whatever he tells him to do, that's what he does.
Wow. Because I kept wondering, why is this guy under such pressure?
Yeah.
And if you notice, you look at what's happening as far as the accounting of actually what's happening with the cases and what have you. Now that they started, we're off the charts.
Off the charts.
Are they?
Florida's off the charts.
Off the charts, Bishop. And
Florida
the thing
and Texas
about
are
it
highest.
is, and he's saying,
So it's a
don't
dangerous place to live right now.
It's just testing. You know, we're doing more testing now. Don't worry about it. Now, here's the interesting thing.
It's just testing.
Right. That's all it is.
Sounds familiar?
That's funny. Yeah. We're just testing. Okay.
But here's the situation: is that age group that's being most affected now is 18 to 25.
Wow.
Now, how do you expect for people to follow when you go and you have rallies with nobody wearing masks? What kind of signal are you sending to the nation? What kind of signal are you telling the people? What's your point?
Well, you know, we just had one of our members, not a member of our church, but one of our members' relatives. I believe the young man was 29 years old. He just passed away from COVID.
Yep.
29.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's fighting there too a lot because they're supposed to be having a Republican convention in Florida.
Right.
Yes.
So I think they're trying to keep the money there. So that's why they're bringing the basketball back there and a few other things.
I don't know if
he's worried about the money.
If I was a sports figure, I'm not sure I'd go.
Well, some of them already said they're not playing this season.
Okay, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. They pay them enough to stay home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying the owners aren't down there playing.
No, they're not. They're gonna send the teams into one of the hottest states for COVID in the nation.
Yep.
So he invited Pence to come this Thursday to the state. Come for what?
You know, they do a lot of gestures in this administration that are supposed to exhibit strength or either confidence, and sometimes they just look foolish. It just looks foolish. I mean, him coming to the state is not going to assure me that I can't catch COVID. It's not.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
You know, especially since they're probably testing them every day, and they've got some drugs and stuff up in the White House that we don't have.
Exactly.
How's my sister doing?
She's doing great. She's doing great.
Tell her I asked for her, please, Dan.
Okay. And one other thing that I took note of is that the emergency hospitals that the government has sent in, they have taken them away. We no longer have them. And some of our hospitals, they only have 7% capacity left in the hospitals.
Wow. Man, we're not handling this thing as well as we could.
No,
not at all.
No. Thank you, Dan.
Okay, Bishop.
Talk to you now.
Be blessed. Thank you all.
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point. Give us a call. Going to Kevin. Hey, Kev.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. And you?
I'm doing great, girl. Good to hear from you.
Oh, God, I miss you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait till it's safe for us to get back together.
Yeah. I know. So anyway, I want to thank God for the both of you first, Pastor Nick, Bishop. I'd never been to a Power of God conference, and I want to say that I was really blessed by it. And the thing I love about technology is during my walks, I would listen when I was walking. Mm-hmm. I would listen. I never listened at home.
Okay.
I listened out, doing my exercise, sitting in my car. And, one thing that we've always heard pastors and each other say, that it doesn't matter the year, God's word still blesses, even though it was from 2018, 2019. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about next year when I can actually be in church and be a part of it, because I was so excited about being able to, serve. And but I'm excited. And I just want to thank the both of you for being steadfast, and I know that you've sacrificed a lot, when it comes to your families and your own personal time. But, that's the life of a servant, and I thank God for it.
We appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Bless you, girl.
Right, bless you.
And the video that was put up. I don't know when it was from, but when Pastor Nick had the spray can and said Holy Spirit and people fell out, that was hilarious.
We tend to be a little foolish at times.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. You know, it
I don't think I saw that one.
It was posted a couple weeks ago.
I don't think I saw that one.
It's a real quick 30-second clip. It's called the new social distancing anointing service.
I saw it today, but
social distancing anointing service.
Yeah. So instead of touching them with oil,
there you go,
Lysol spray. They would run by and spray them.
Yeah.
And they go down in the spirit.
But you know what? And I believe that the world that's not saved needs to see that we can have a sense of humor. Because years ago, when I wasn't serving God, I said to my sister, I said, "Do Christians have fun?" And I really didn't know.
Yeah.
And I said to her, "Why do you spend so much time in church?" But when you build a relationship with God, you have a thirst. You know, it's like the bug that goes to the light. You know, it constantly goes to the light. You know, in the summertime, you always see those bugs go towards the light. And that's how it is. Once you get a relationship, you can't get enough.
Yeah. And
I just wanted to say thank you again.
I think it's the same thing when we're out in the world. You know, we congregate at clubs. A lot of us went to the same clubs, and we had a number of clubs that we went to and saw the people, and nobody ever asked us why were we going out to party so much. But now, we're going to celebrate, but we're just in a different place.
Yes, and let me tell you, I don't know if you know about Jonesy's in down here near Buna. I was there every Thursday. The party didn't start till 5 a.m., okay? And I closed out the club. So that same desire I have for God is, I'm just at a different party, that's all.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
So I just wanted to tell you, the both of you, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you.
And we need to run that humorous stuff again, because we ran it a while ago.
Let me check with her.
We had a couple humorous videos.
Around the plaza, I got another one.
We need to run them again, and I never saw the anointing with the spray can. We need to throw that one up again.
Yeah.
All right, and we did a David and Goliath one this week. It came out.
And then the Solomon and the toilet paper thing, that was good.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't see that, but I have to say my favorite one is probably when Pastor Nick had all the people around him. I think he had a blue and red shirt on. And he said, "This is Pastor Nick coming to you from such and such." And somebody sneezed. Oh, my God. That takes the cake. That one was funny.
I got an idea for Bishop. I want him to do it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be pretty funny. So
we'll see. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah. Talk to you soon now. Stay safe.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care, you too. Bye-bye.
Tom from Fort Lauderdale, Florida's in the house today.
How you doing, Bishop, Pastor Nick?
Hey, man. How are you? Welcome to OnPointe.
Hey, I just want to piggyback off what the brother said earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, our governor sounds just like the president. If you just remove the face, because he has a news briefing every day at noon, and it's unbelievable. The one thing I have to say that's good about Florida right now, the mayors of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and a few other cities have decided that they're going to go back to quarantines, to nobody at the bar. I mean, they're grabbing the bull by itself. They're actually grabbing it by the horns and, like, hey, if the governor's not going to do it, we're going to do it.
So they're swimming upstream.
Yeah. Oh, bad. It's like, hey, we're testing more, so, we have less. And something you said earlier about the testing.
Yeah, man.
In New York, they test just as much, but it's going down. So this thing about testing, we see more if we test more. No, New York is testing just as much as the rest of the country, and they're seeing less. So that blows that right out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, man.
You figure it took, June? Since March.
Right.
It took till June for the positive test rates to go down 1%.
Wow.
Only 1%.
Wow.
That's it. That's not significant at all.
No, it isn't.
So they basically were flat for a while. I mean, a 1% difference is better than nothing. But
right, but it's not a lot.
It's not a lot. And
it shows that perhaps the restrictions were not severe enough in the beginning, or people in America are not adhering to them.
Yeah, they're not adhering.
Okay.
There's a guy he's the facilities person I was talking to this week in college in New York, and they're prepping them for another wave.
I think the way that people have gone back together, there is going to be another. And this may be a simplistic example of it, but if you can go to the hospital and catch it, I'm not sure that businesses and entities know how to be hospital clean.
Yep.
Especially with a bunch of people in there. And I know everybody likes salons and everything, but with all that hot air going around and people in there and sweating and getting the nails, I mean, just.
I ain't going back to the gym till probably next year.
Doc, look, I called my trainer the other day just to see how he was doing. I
know that's right.
I'm not going to that gym, man.
Nope.
I'm not doing it. Nope. Man, Tom, we're praying for you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Hey, miss you guys. Take care.
Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye. Ava. What's up, Ava?
What's going on? How are you guys this morning?
We doing all right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you in the car.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually at work. I'm packing up some bakery stuff, so bear with me. No, I was calling you to talk about the whole school thing. I was really hoping that they do something that they can do public school for homeschool this year as opposed to putting all the kids back.
Yeah.
I homeschool 2 of my kids regularly, and for 2 curriculums that I put the kids through, I paid almost $2,000 for that curriculum.
Okay.
So, and New York doesn't offer, like some states offer, like that K through 12 thing where it's a public school curriculum at home school.
Yeah.
But they don't have that option in New York. But I hope that they do something because I think that September is going to be a little too soon to bring all them kids back in there.
Yeah, I think it's fraught with danger.
Yeah, because I already know my kids ain't. And honestly, people are saying that the kids are going to be behind the curve. My son's teacher, he was doing terrible in school, and my son's teacher called me since he's been home. He said, your son's grade went up. He went from a 67 to an 87 since he's been home with me because, Mama don't play that. So
he can't run the hustle on Mom.
You don't run nothing over here. I get me a stick out. He thinks he's taller than me. I can't hit him no more.
Here you go.
But the threat is still there.
Yeah, it is. And he ain't going to wash his hands. My son mad dirty. And he in middle school. You was giving him a lot of credit. He in 8th grade. He ain't going to be in there washing hands, and they're going to be high-fiving and wrestling in the hallways.
Yeah.
They're going to do all that. But I'll see y'all next week. I will be down there.
All right. We see you soon.
See you.
All right.
Kiss the family for me.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. We're so glad you joined us today. We're doing real good. We got about 5 more minutes, I guess.
It's Men's Day tomorrow, Bishop.
It's Men's Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
All people of God, everybody interested, it's our Men's Day celebration tomorrow.
Yep.
Every service, wonderful conversation around the subject of men tomorrow. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We want you to get on board, and then our drive-in service will be broadcast at 6 in the evening. So full day, and I'm sure we've got some testimonies on there and some good things about talking about the brothers and all that all day long.
Probably air some of the stuff we did last. People were talking about the stuff we put last week.
Really?
Last week. Yes, the panels and
man,
on manhood.
Yeah,
and,
man.
I
was talking to a member last night. They called, and I just want to let you know that it helped me. And I was talking to a pastor last night. Said he watched the father-son thing 3 times.
Wow, nice.
3 times.
Yeah. I guess with the conversation y'all going to see tomorrow, we're going to continue those manhood conversations. Obviously,
there's a need for it.
Yeah, bigger than what I thought.
Yeah, there's a need for it.
It's
a need for it. One of the hardest things to understand in this time that we live is a man.
Yep.
And the average woman tends to ask another woman, tell me about men. But a woman can only relate her experience.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to a man to find out about men.
Yep.
Which is why your fathers were supposed to tell the daughters, look, girl, this is how this is.
Yep.
But, everybody's a genius when they're 16.
Yeah, right.
You don't find out you're not.
Yeah, you don't know nothing
until you get about 35, 40, then you start saying, ooh.
I don't know a thing.
How come you didn't tell me that? You weren't ready to listen.
That's right. That's true.
It's amazing to me, man.
Yeah.
But I think tomorrow's going to be very interesting. Pastor Sean McMillan is going to be our guest speaker. As usual, the men of our church, we sow a $100 seed to celebrate Men's Day, to keep the ministry strong, to push the ministry forward, to support the endeavors that the men's ministry does. Our men's ministry is called Safe House.
Yes, sir.
Safe House Ministry, safe place for men to come, safe place for boys to come, safe place for men to grow, safe place for men to be vulnerable, safe place for men to be impacted in a way by the Spirit of God and the Word of God. So we love our Safe House Ministry. Our seed tomorrow will not only support the strength of ministry, but the support of the outreach that the Safe House Ministry does so greatly under the guidance of our deacons and our other men of the church. So it's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow, and you will absolutely adore Pastor Sean McMillan.
Yeah.
Absolutely adore.
Yeah.
Incredible mind, incredible Bible knowledge. He just, it's really cool. Yeah. I am looking forward to Men's Day. Looking forward to today's noonday service, drive-in.
Yep.
Chris, you said the weather has shifted?
Yeah. Trader said it's not raining anymore.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we'll have service. Hopefully God will hold back the rain.
Yeah.
He knows the desires of our hearts.
Help us out.
He help us out a bit. So we got drive-in at 12 noon. Also, Abundant Harvest Catering will be doing their thing today. You can order ahead and pick it up. Just drive by. They'll have it waiting for you outside. All those of you who are locked out geographically from our geographic location, you're in Kentucky, you're in Texas, you're in Florida, and you really say, I need to have a deeper connection. I want to be a member of Bethany Church. Well, we have our internet congregation called Connections Church, and you can become a part of, have a deeper connection to our ministry through Connections. Those of you that are geographically locked out, couldn't get here, even when the pandemic, but you love the ministry, want to be a part, want to be more engaged. That means get involved in our prayer groups, get involved in our Connections men's and singles, get involved in our discipling process. You want to get involved and hopefully in a couple months in our music ministry, which is going to be an incredible thing. I'm excited about that. As we gather a choir from around the nation who we will put up on the screen during a service and be our guest musical group. That's going to be incredible. Looking forward to that. So if you want to have a greater engagement, become a part of Connections, and we'd be glad to have you connect with the Transformation Church, with this Bethany. Now, all you have to do is send an email to connections@gotobethany.com. Connections@gotobethany.com. Answer some of the questions, give us some of your information, and we'll get you connected. You'll become a member of our internet congregation nationwide. So glad you could join us. We are almost out of time, Phil.
2 more minutes.
Okay, so got 2 minutes. Pastor Nick.
Yes, sir.
So what has come out of, in 2 minutes, what has come out of the NFL's admission that they were wrong in saying that Colin Kaepernick and the other players taking a knee was an incorrect reaction?
Well, I think the obviousness of something you said about how George Floyd died and the reality of that hit them, number one. Number two, they are also a business.
Okay.
So it is the end thing to support a movement that's extremely popular.
Okay.
So I don't believe that this is a whole pure,
no.
Because
the owners were too committed to, we're not going to support this need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And they wanted to please the president.
There you go.
Okay.
And he apologized to Kaepernick. My whole thing is like this. You apologize, but you guys, on purpose,
they blackballed
this guy purposely and gave gestures to look like you were still with him. I'm like, come on, man.
Well, I think, the whole process of giving him a tryout and all that, that was to publicly, they were willing to spend that money for the public relations.
That's it.
Just like the young man that was gay, that was an excellent ball player.
Yeah.
I thought the strategy they used, cutting him here, sending him there, cutting him there, out of football.
Yep.
They got an uncomfortable principle right out of the way.
They navigated, and nobody's talking about it.
It was masterful.
Yeah. And when he was gone, nobody said a word.
Nobody said another word.
This has been On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Stay strong, stay safe. See you at 12 noon here at the Plaza in your automobile. Faith acts like a thing is so even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.